Joining us now, Dr. Scott Gottlieb, former FDA commissioner and a CNBC contributor. He also serves on the boards of Pfizer and Illumina. Also, his latest op-ed in the Wall Street Journal makes the case for so-called vaccine passports, which you've made the case for on this show before as more, maybe not necessarily as preventing people from doing things, but enabling people in a fast lane type situation to go visit someone in a hospital or a nursing home or something like that.
That's right. I mean, the challenge with the question around these so-called vaccine passports is that people right now don't own the information verifying that they've been vaccinated. They don't have a digitally verifiable, cryptographically signed application or even document, even a QR code that can demonstrate that they've been vaccinated. We've got these cards that people received when they got vaccinated. But that's not going to be good enough. Those are available on eBay right now. You can get those cards. So people aren't going to accept the cards as proof of vaccination. What happened when this system was set up was that the federal government was scrambling for a way to keep track of who was getting vaccinated. So they required the states to report the information to these 64 jurisdictions that exist in the country, basically to track pediatric vaccination. So when states vaccinate a child, that information has to be reported to one of these 64 jurisdictions. Most of them fall around states, but some states have two, like Texas, and some cities are their own jurisdiction, like New York. The system was set up so that pediatricians can query these jurisdictions to find out if a child has already received their vaccination schedule. All the information about COVID vaccinations was put in the same system. The problem with the system is it was never designed really to be accessible to consumers. So consumers really have no way right now to get the information to prove they've been vaccinated. And there are going to be circumstances that exist in the future that are going to require us to prove we've been vaccinated. I believe that as the epidemic gets worse next winter, right now this winter, nursing homes ban visitors, hospitals ban visitors. You could see a situation where those institutions might allow people to visit if they can demonstrate that they've been vaccinated, but it's going to be hard to demonstrate that proof. So I think that the applications that we're talking about, and it may be something as simple as allowing Apple Health Vault to pull down this information from these 64 jurisdictions, that's going to be necessary in certain limited circumstances next year. So I think people need to think about this differently. Right now, as consumers, we don't own this information, and we should.
Right. And we have the technology. It wouldn't be that difficult either, right, Doctor?
That's right. And some states need to pass separate legislation to allow this information to be accessible. So states are going to have to make a decision to do that. We see some states potentially passing legislation to prevent this information from being accessible because the whole discussion around vaccine passports has gotten swept up in a lot of concerns around whether or not it's going to be used to limit people's access to things that they would otherwise do. I think the use case for this information is likely to be enabling access to things that are otherwise going to be restricted, right, like the nursing home example. So, we need to think differently about this. I think consumers should be empowered with this information. How they choose to use it is up to them.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.